Okay. Hi, my name is Mary. I'm the owner and president of Strategic Amelioration. My company offers virtual CFO services, so Chief Financial Officer services, and also marketing, strategizing, and implementation. And my background is I have my master's from Harvard in finance, and I have two other certifications from over there. I have over 10 years of experience. I work on the commercial side as well as on the government side. Anything related to administrative, project management, anything financial, marketing. This is what I love and this is what I do.
Diversified Game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, for all of you who are seriously in the business, especially if you're in that government contracting or you're going after, various RFPs, RFQs, you want that source of SOT, I have a virtual CFO who can help you. And yeah, that intro is right. She said Harvard. When you say Harvard, you have to put a little extra on it, you guys. But Miss Mary is going to give us the game on how she can help you with your strategy, finding out, where you need to be putting your time into and projections and a lot more. So we're going to get right into the game. Make sure you take notes because a lot of you entrepreneurs, when I tell you to go to SCORE, when I tell you to go to PTAC, when I tell you, Apex Accelerator, sorry, PTAC. When I tell you to go to these places, you don't go follow all of the rules or get help. You need a team to make a dream. Miss Mary can definitely help you with that. So Miss Mary, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How about you? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys know and the audience knows I'm always blessed by the best over here. We got health, we got wealth. Then let's talk about jumping right into it for that entrepreneur that needs your help like ahora, right now. What are the main things or mistakes or, fires that you're putting out for entrepreneurs that they probably needed to hire you a month ago, if not a decade ago? What is that main thing? Let's start there.
Yes. So the main thing, I want to say one word, profitability, right? If you just want the really short answer is profitability. The entrepreneurs, right? They open their own business because they know they love to do what they're amazing at, right? It's so unfair for them to try to oversee the whole strategy, the whole market research, competitive analysis, the pricing strategies. It's just not a fair game, right? For business owners, they want to open this business to do the operational day-to-day things. But then this oversight, this out of the box, thinking, this analysis, this running by me ideas, but then putting numbers and putting plans into it and making sure that this would make sense in numbers wise, financially. Is the business going to grow? Is the business going to be still profitable, but then increase the profitability? It's just these little tweaks that are very crucial. And like you said, I want to tell my clients, why haven't you called me a year ago? And when I get this call, like, when should I hire, like a CFO or a professional business consultant to be right there on my team? I would say the minute you think about it, please do. It's just very important for the health of the company. It's very important for the future of the company. So I just want to say, profitability, this is just has to be one of the things as a business owner to think about. Not only how am I going to operate, who am I going to hire, where am I going to open? You need this consultant that would do all these researches for you while you're perfecting what you love to do and what the reason you opened, your own business was in the first place.
Now, at what level, because, people become profitable today and online, you'll think that they have made $1 billion and they'll start showing themselves with Grant Cardone and AI is doing all type of, funny stuff. But some people say, well, I have that and I have my virtual assistant in India or Thailand or in Kenya. At what point do you need to graduate to somebody who actually understands more of the market here, can attend some of the meetings of those organizations I talked about, where you'll know some local things, even just being in this country that somebody in Thailand may not know, even though they might have great customer service and be friendly. But at what point is there a price point? Is it 100,000? Is it 50,000 or 10,000? Because the other part of that is, can they afford you? And how profitable are they?
Yes, that's a great question. So, having a virtual assistant right outside of the US or something, this is perfectly fine, right? I would say, sure, go for it. But the thing we're talking about is more like just advisor, a financial advisor. And this is just so different. And like you said, customer service is something, somebody to handle the emails, the phone calls, the sales, maybe meetings, things like that. This is perfectly fine, whether it's inside or outside. I think it's something that you can kind of train your staff to do, right? Good and professionally. But when it comes, like you said, to how can the business grow, you do need this kind of local eye in the market, right? You do need this kind of reflection on what is actually happening on the ground, right? This is not something you can really outsource. And honestly, I tell my clients whenever you're looking for, a company like myself, financial advisor offering like fractional CFO, you don't want to hire a 300,000 salaried CFO or a 400,000 salaried CFO in your business, right? If the business is not that big, then you don't want this in-house. But you want this kind of, I want to call it on-demand, fractional. It has so many names, but this is actually what makes it affordable. Because when you say the price point, I'm totally with you. No business or not so many businesses can afford this full-time CFO today or this full-time CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, to handle their marketing. But just offering on demand, it makes me affordable to honestly a startup, a pre-revenue, 500,000 revenue, 3 million revenue company. It's just very wide now, and this is where my passion comes from, right? So I'm going to wait till you ask me about my background, but this is kind of my passion, is to make sure things are doable, but things are affordable. So if a company comes and they want so much involvement and they're like huge and they really want this insight and you're like right there with them in every single detail, then sure, I can offer that. But if a company just needs some guidance, this person they can call, email, reach out in certain negotiations, certain offers or contracts that they're running, or certain ideas for the next step of hires. Can we afford it? Can we not? What should we do? Those types of things. Then I come and say it just depends on how much involvement you want. And honestly, when I talk with people and they tell me what they want and I tell them my price, they would be like, oh my God, I thought because you said something about your education or your experience, then I will never ever afford you. And they would be like, just send me this agreement. I'm signing it today, because this is kind of my passion. It comes out of help and the love to care about this business owner, right? You mentioned how blessed you are, and I am very blessed, right? And anything that I have, it's from God's hand. So I always have to fear God in my work, right? And I always like to give back other than like charities or volunteering. Even at my work, it's not a game of like, okay, let's see how much can we get out of this person, And I talk with other companies that do that, and it's just like, I don't know, it's very sad.
Well, you talk about your background, and let's talk about your royal background. I know the audience might hear me. I'm throwing in like these little Spanish words because we're on our way to Mexico soon, and I'm coming back from Africa. Spending 18 days in Africa, from South Africa to Rwanda, and I'm having to revamp I have to make sure my lingo is right where I'm at. And being here in Florida, Spanish is, it's necesito at times. But your royal background of, is it Cleopatra or Nefertiti? Is it Sadat or is it Moses? Because I was saying you are an Egyptian, and
Yeah.
tell us about your background and just how you got into this.
Sure. Get ready for I don't know, a roller coaster there, okay? So I was born in Zambia, all right? And stayed there for about 6 years with my parents, and then we moved from there to back to Egypt because that's where they were from, right? And then I lived in Egypt for about 17 years. So when you say Africa, like this is, my life, right? I just love it there. It's just very magnificent, right? And you mentioned some of my grandma's names over there. So, it's just the big history and the big background. It's just overwhelming, right? But after that, I came to the US And I've been here for about over like 13 years now. The journey that you have, I guess, or that a person has, right, with a background from a third world country is very different because as a little kid, I would always dream big dreams, right? You know how they always say when you dream or plan or something, make sure it's attainable, it's doable. I like to dream like a little higher than that, right? Like to the impossible. Let's just jump over there, okay? I'm like, sure, why not? All things are possible, right? Especially when you have your faith and all of that. It's doable. So, as a little kid, 13 years old, I was in seventh grade. I go on vacation with my family to Boston. And we're at one of their friends' house, and he has some people come over. And this very nice girl, okay, tells me, Mary, why don't you come tomorrow to Harvard? And I look at her, I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm in seventh grade. I know I'm tall, but I'm in seventh grade. What's happening? So she says, no, it's just the first week of classes. Anybody can walk in or out. People are like checking which classes they like, which professors, which topics. So I was like, sure, let's go for it. I'm coming with you tomorrow. And I go over there and I tell you, I'm just amazed, right? Amazed. And I look at the lecture halls, the professors, the students, the topics they're discussing, every single thing. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like so impressed. And I tell myself, Mary, one day you're going to graduate from Harvard. Okay. And I almost hear it like, I don't know, the whole world is like laughing at me. Just go back to a third world country. What are you talking about? And this is what actually happened. I just finished this vacation, went back home, did my high school, my bachelor was in business administration over there. Everything is just normal. But 20 years fast forward from this day, I had this dream. By the grace of God, I actually graduated from over there with masters in finance, two professional graduate level certifications, one in corporate finance, one in data analytics. I was awarded the Dean's List of Academic Achievement, so GPA 3.91. I'm telling you, this is my passion, my motto in life. Like, dream big and let's do it. Just put the plan, have the faith, and it's doable. And this is why I'm telling you, when I talk about what I do, it's kind of coming in to rescue this business owner, to just lift this burden off of their shoulders. They want to focus on so many things, and they can't just pause and overlook everything that's happening, the market, the financial statements, nobody wants that, right? And this is what I love, like how you hire an accountant for things or you hire a professional painter to paint sometimes. You can make yourself do everything, or you can just kind of set some priorities. What's really important, to kind of get out of my plate and put someone professional to do it. So that's the background. I have to tell you too, my parents are just really hardworking individuals. They just made entrepreneurship so doable to me because they were both physicians, right? And they just decided to open their own business. And they started it from scratch, made it so successful, made it huge. Same time, they were the perfect parents. They had time for their family. At the same time, they were always at church and giving back and serving. So it's just something that I saw in my house that kind of just made me have this passion when I grow up to just like dream big, do it, but then have the heart and passion to help along the way other business owners.
I love to hear that. And again, for those of you who listen often, something about being in the medical field allows you to be always wanted. You can go from Zambia to Egypt and anywhere in the world to the States because you can save a life. Miss Mary, I'm married to medicine, so and we have some businesses in those arenas. So that's why we throw that out there like that to let the people know, because entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, and but medicine and healthcare, we have a lack. We need 2 million more nurses in this country alone, and globally it's an issue. But off on my soapbox, when you are, getting these clients, can you give people some ranges? Because some folks won't even contact you if they think they can't afford it. And sometimes what I have found as a consultant, you have to show people how they cannot afford to not take this chance because they're losing out on money. So, on what range can somebody say, okay, I can have that conversation with Mary? Because as much as people are saying what they have, it doesn't mean anything until you can pay your staff, and pay your staff.
Yeah.
So let them know what ranges should they call you so they won't call you and say, hey, I have $500. I'm ready for you, Mary.
Yes. Yes. So $500 would actually give you 2 sessions and some, that's not bad, right? So my like consultations, right? If somebody just wants a 1 hour consultation and we're discussing the specific topics they're kind of concerned about, the 1 hour is $150. Okay. So I'm just very clear with you here. So that's why I tell you people get shocked when I tell them how much I charge, right, for like sessions. But the other thing where I would love like to give you an idea about the ranges of prices too. Remember how I told you like that I'm accessible if somebody wants me there, if they want this involvement in their business, and I'm actually looking at all their paperwork, all their contracts, or like at their, I want to say, their packages, their pricing, their offers, their negotiations, their staffing, all of that, and their financial statements, of course, then this would range anywhere from 1,700 to like 5,800 or so per month. And this is where the actual packages where they want this CFO to be there for them, right? And this range, it just depends on how much involvement. Are we talking like we're meeting 6 times a month? Are we talking that we're meeting, twice a month? Are we doing evaluations and analysis and like a whole big picture dashboards? Are we doing this like, bi-weekly, or are we doing it once a year or twice a year? So this is kind of the range, and I'm so glad you asked this question. I think transparency has its benefits, like you said, because people would call me, and I'm more than happy to jump on a quick call or a quick video, to kind of discuss, are we even the right match or not. And I tell my clients, I am never getting anybody stuck into contracts that they cannot get out of. So I just say 30 days written notice, because that's all I need to just even put you on the right track, on a good exit strategy for your next steps and for your success tomorrow, with or without me. So, I get approached by clients and they tell me, oh, we're stuck in this 1 year or this 3 years. And this is just a sign of, I guess, that I don't trust the value I bring. But I do trust the value I bring. So I don't get anybody on contracts that will last, for just 30 days, just, out of respect. Me too. If I find we're not the right fit, then I will do the same thing. So it's just this kind of confidence and trust that I build with the clients, and we go from there.
And for the entrepreneur who says, oh, wow, okay, this is affordable, at least for me to start, what type of progress have you seen with clients? And I don't want to say, because I don't want to make it a cheesy infomercial where you're like, if you hire me, you will get 50% in return on investment. Because a lot of clients, their books are all messed up. You have people making, unfortunately, almost $1 million, if not more, and they won't have, a lawyer, a CPA, or even a bookkeeper, and they treat their business like their bank account. So, what returns are you seeing that you're safe to say? Because I don't want this to be one of those podcasts where, I hate the fluff. I want the real facts, but I can tell people you're going to make more money if you hire us. And if you follow the rules. Now, if you don't follow the rules and what we're saying, there's nothing I can help. I don't even want your money. Please take it back. Tira la puerta. Like, get out the door. I don't want it. But, is there any like safe numbers you can say, or safe return that you can say, this is what I do and it's dang near gonna happen if you follow my direction?
Yes, I think you said the secret right in the middle of your question when you said kind of if you follow the rules, right? So as an advisor, right, I cannot really force something on the business owner, right? It's their business. I want them to be comfortable, but I will tell them the truth, right? I will tell them here is what the market research says. Here is what the numbers say about what you want to do. Here is the future of your company if we do this, A or B, right? A is taking you here, B is taking you there, and then we talk about it and I discuss and I take all the financial jargons and complicated things and I just make it in a very cute, presentation or something, but then it makes sense. They understand it, right? So when you say, when do clients see results or how much, I can tell you very safely from one session and very safely from the packages that I explained to you in 1 week, right? Because it's just the understanding the data analytics and the financials and all, and just having the experience in the field. And you mentioned the medical field. I work a lot with private practices, right? Owners. So like physicians who own their own private practices. And this is just something they don't have time to look at or understand, even the pricing, even the rules, like the no-show fees, the paperwork fees, anything, like depending on the business that we're working in. But then there are so many aspects that people don't pay attention to. They don't understand. They don't really see how it really impacts the profitability and how it really impacts what they can do today and tomorrow, and how can they offer better service for the people they're trying to serve. So, it's just that I cannot force something, but then I say, I will give you the tools, but it's up to you, So if you want me to give a time period, I would say 1 session. And if you want to give like the packages, things, it's 1 week. And, I was talking with a client the other day and I tell her, oh, thank you so much for referring this client to me. And he told me that you said I really changed your life in 1 month and I really changed the business in 1 month. I really appreciate that. And she says, no, it wasn't a 1 month. It was a 1 week. I'm sorry, I told him a 1 month, and these are the kinds of things that make me happy and make me proud of my work. But then I just remind myself it's all by God's grace. Where I am at is just all by God's grace and by my family's support. So I'm always grateful to that. But it's nice sometimes to hear, good feedback too. It just makes you love what you do. And this is kind of the impact that you want. Something like, for example, in marketing, right? I tell clients, I'm not promising, for example, followers or views or, because I'm on the strategical side. I'm on the, how do you want to present your business? How do you want to be visualized, I guess? Or how do you want people to think about you? It's not really that, like you said, I'm outsourcing from Egypt or India or something, like fake accounts to kind of come in and convince the client that I'm worth it. This is kind of my values, and this is what I say up front. I will discuss everything in the business. I will oversee, analyze, put my full heart in it, but I cannot really tell you this percentage or this time frame because it just depends. Are they convinced? Are they going to do it? Are they willing to change? Right? Because if you say, I want to grow the business, but then a person says, okay, but I'm not changing anything, so I'm not sure we're the right fit. And this is something that I would say in our first 10-minute call to kind of see if we're a good match or something. So this is just one other thing. I would be like, are you ready to change? If they say, no, I'm not changing one thing, I would be, then I think you're going to waste a little bit of your money. Let's just keep this money in your pocket and I will wish you the best luck. But it doesn't work like that.
Hello everyone, come along with London and Sydney as they show you around the vibrant country of Cameroon. We explore the heart of Africa through the eyes of London and Sydney. Two explorers who journey across the great city of Yaoundé, exploring its rich culture, vibrant market squares, cultural heritage and wildlife. With giggles and excitement, London and Sydney Explore Cameroon takes you on a fun-filled adventure, providing insight into the country's culture and traditions through the pages of this book. It's packed with exciting stories and super cool facts about Cameroon that will make you go, wow. Get your copy now, available on Amazon and in libraries near you. There's only one easy way to experience the exploration of Cameroon. And it's through London and Sydney. Don't wait, get yours.
Those people usually come back on fire, running on fire after they've been burned by who knows what or who. You know, and so, you know, we're talking about business and how it can help, you know, businesses and how, what your services do. But I know, because you've talked so much about giving, and because I read your website, you know, 10%, that tithe is given back to some form of nonprofit. My signature question is, what is your community gives back that you're doing, or one that you would like to do in the future?
Yes. So the community give back is just something I've learned since I was a little girl, right? Being a little girl, for example, I played the piano, right? So my mom would say, you better take this piano with you to church because you're playing some songs before Sunday school, right? So it's just something that I kind of grew up with, even when I was, I don't know, like 10 years old. You know, if I can play a song, I'm taking this piano with me to the church. I'm not just going over to kind of listen and enjoy the activities and the lessons and stuff like that. I'm giving back. So it's just something that my parents taught me. But growing up, I just had to be very clear with myself that I need to have this part just as important as having a business or studying something, you know, any degree or certificate or something. I would be like, this is one of your priorities and you better remember it. So I'll answer your second question first. When you say in the future, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? Like for volunteering, I would just want to hold myself accountable to still be giving out of my time and out of my experience and anything that I have. I would just need to hold myself accountable to that, right? I don't ever want to be busy to the extent that I don't have time to do this. So this is the future. I don't mind what nonprofit or what charity it is. I don't mind. I'm so open, but I just have to be very aggressive with myself and tell myself, you better be doing this. You're not going to be so busy and neglect this part of your mission in life. Currently, I'm on the board of a nonprofit and I act as their CFO. So I love to do that for them and, you know, handle all these things for them. The other thing is I'm with the SBA, so Small Business Administration. They have advisory board council under the SBDC, Small Business Developmental Center. So I'm on this board as well. So what this board does is it just supports businesses and business owners who are kind of stuck and cannot really grow their revenues or their market share or their profitability. So this is just something that I currently am involved in, and I just love it. And I still act as the CFO of the advisory board council there.
Oh, wow, many hats. So if
Yeah.
you're connected with the SBA, you are never bored, because there's plenty going on over there. For the women out there, especially, and I guess the men, but we'll take it from the women's perspective because you're a woman, you're a mother. How do you balance all of this with, you know, your husband, your family, and doing it all? What does your calendar look like? You know, give some secrets, some gems for that person who's thinking, can I have a child now? Or do I have to pick my career?
Yes. The first question, if somebody is asking, can I have a child now? I would say do it as soon as possible. Don't even think about it. Before you're finishing this sentence in your thoughts, just take this step. Don't wait for it, because this is something that tomorrow maybe I can work on my career, right? Tomorrow, it doesn't have to be right now. But then, you know, when can I have a child, or when can I be a young parent to be able to handle the child, right? Or things like that. Those thoughts are just, time flies so fast. So if there are decisions that are really important in life, things like family, things like marriage, things like having kids, when should I start, you know, seeking even spiritual guidance? Or when should I, you know, go to this church down the street? I always see it. Oh, maybe one day I'll go. No, these are things that need to be done today, right? Today, not tomorrow, not in a week after this project gets done, because time flies. Just priorities, okay? So these are things that I would say just go for it full power, okay? When it comes to, like you said, if you have the career, but then the friends and family, but then you want to do the volunteering and things like that, I want to say I just pray about it and I block the calendar. So maybe these are my two giveaways is just pray that God would give you the time to actually do all of these things in the correct way with the correct energy and effort and all of that. But then the second, you just need to put yourself accountable to, like you said, on the calendar. You need to be blocking those times. So if I want to be on Sunday at church, I cannot have my calendar open Sunday morning, right? If I want to volunteer on the advisory board council, for example, with like the SBDC or so, then this needs to be blocked. I'm not available at that time, right? If I want to volunteer my time or 10%, like you said, of any proceeds or things like that, then this money cannot be open. This is not something that's available. This is something that's gone directly, right there and then. With every dollar that comes in, there is this 10% going to like St. Jude Children's Hospital, to a nonprofit, like any good reason. Like it needs to go to like a good cause, right? So I would just say blocking this time and blocking this availability. You don't need to be available 24/7 to everybody, not by phone, not by email, not like meetings virtually or even audio meetings. It's just like that. I was talking to somebody and he tells me we sometimes put ourselves victims as if we're victims, but we're in control of this calendar. Something is wrong. We need to sit and be very, very honest with ourselves, right? I should face myself and say, well, maybe, Mary, don't pretend that you cannot jump on this lovely chat today, with Kellen and enjoy this time in the morning because you're in control of your calendar, of this calendar. If I had this time open, then I probably couldn't have made it. And I would have been like running and apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. No, but I need to respect every single thing, every single meeting or, I don't know, volunteering or work or family or be there for my daughter's, recital or things like that. You just need to have this time available and blocked on the calendar.
And her husband, because you hear these weird things online, and I in real life sometimes people say certain men from certain countries won't let women do this or they hold them back. But I heard the accent with your husband while he was singing one of those gospel songs with your kids. And so I know he's not from America, but I don't know if he's Egyptian or not, but don't believe the rumors that this type of man will hold you back. Find somebody. It's very important that you find a good partner that you can do life with, that understands you and wants the best for you. So shout out to your husband, no matter where he's from in the world. Maybe you want to shout it out. Is he Egyptian?
Of course, I really want to shout out, like, he's Egyptian. He is very supportive. I'm just very impressed that you even went to the YouTube and listened to the songs or like to Instagram or something. You did extensive research there. Yes, he is very supportive. So, for the business, he's very supportive. For the personal goals, he's very supportive. For even something fun like this YouTube, that I do just to praise God with my kids or, I would say, okay, I need a Jesus voice. And he will be like, okay, I'm coming. I'm like, oh, really? What? And he says, like, he always says, I don't like to sing. My voice is not very nice or things like that. But I'm always like around him playing the piano and the guitar and singing. And he would be, okay, she needs a Jesus voice. My son is so young. Then he'll be like, okay, I'm Jesus. I'm coming. I'm like, wow, thank you. So, he's supportive on like so many levels, spiritual, personal, business. You are right. It is very important when it comes to picking, your partner in life, because this is kind of something. It's not really somebody you work with. It's not really somebody you meet on the weekend. It's somebody that's right there with you all the time. I would say just one advice is pray about it. That's all I did. Honestly, I didn't do anything else other than pray about it. Since I was young and I hear people talk about this is an important decision or this is a hard decision, read those books and listen to those things. Of course, I read and I heard, like, listened to all of those guidance things, but still, I just prayed about it and God sent him to me. He's even more spiritual and more loving to Jesus. And he's just, right there to make me grow in my faith and in the business too, on the personal level. It's just one of the many blessings that I have no hand, in achieving, but it's one of the main blessings.
Awesome. And when he does the Jesus voice, if you guys read your scriptures, that could be how Jesus really sounded. Because very rarely in Western, media do we get we
Yeah.
get like, Tom Cruise or I don't know, whoever doing it. And, I've heard people say Jesus never went to Africa. And I say, he never went to Egypt.
Oh.
Egypt said, Americans
Ah.
sometimes our history, geography, comprehension of things is
Yes.
off. We
Did
got to
you
get.
like the song? I have to ask you, did you like the song?
I did because it's worship, and at the same, at the time where anything that has to do with worship, that's how someone's expressing themselves, and that should not be judged on the same way that we're judging Beyonce, Taylor Swift. And I
Yeah.
have a lot of judgment on those songs as well. So worship is worship. And if someone doesn't like their voice, let me tell you, Dr. Dre has said in many interviews, he doesn't like his voice and he
Uh,
has platinum hits. And now with AI, our voices can be whatever we want them to be if we
yeah.
want to play with the AI. Because even with these interviews, sometimes I want to change my voice to sound like, I don't know, I don't less cartoonish, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So tell them keep making the music, keep worshiping, because that will hit somebody in a time of need, and you just
Yes.
you just don't know. Like people are really going through things that, especially if you don't know Jesus, you're really going through something, and you don't have an outlet, and you're just holding it all in. So I
Yeah.
know that's a lot for the business community, but you guys need that too. You
Yeah.
need to know you can't just gain money. You have to have your soul right. Let the people know, Miss Mary, any last tips, tricks that you have before they contact you with their budget in hand. And, we've gotten through that, folks. And also let them know where they can find you, because I want to make sure that I leave you something when they go to your YouTube and your Instagram, and leave them something. I could go on all day, but I won't, because I want you to go subscribe to her YouTube channel and Instagram so you can get that financial game. So any last tips, tricks, and where they can find you?
Sure. Regarding the budget, I would say just reach out, right? Because, like I told you, the range is just so big. There's like very little budget. There's like very big budget. I would just say, reach out, ask me those questions. Let's jump on a call, a video call or whatever you're comfortable with, and let's just have this chat, right? It doesn't cost you anything. And honestly, sometimes I just give all the nuggets in this first, call, because I'm there not in it for the money only. Yes, of course I need to feed my family, but still, this is my passion, and I'm more than open to just say, okay, let me tell you something. Can we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I just wanted to let you know this might help you, even on the first call, right? So we're not losing anything. I love to know people. I love to reach out, and I love to have this connection and relationship. So, this is regarding the budget, whether it's zero or it's 100 or it's 1,000, just let's talk and see if this is a good fit, or let's chat about your business. It's just a very informal and friendly chat, right? So this is the answer to, like, when should they reach out, or with what budget. The other thing I would always say, whether you're thinking about a business idea, whether you're starting up next month, whether you have started and had the business for 10 years, you need a virtual CFO, fractional CFO. If you reach out and we find we're not the right fit, I'll even refer you to others, right? So it's just important. Don't say, oh, I'm waiting till I hit this 100,000 or this million or something like that. It's something that you need. Like you mentioned, for example, a lawyer, an accountant. At a certain point, you just need those people, right? Those professionals to be on your team. So this is the timeline. How can they reach me? The phone number is 407-476-3266. So they can reach me on this phone number. The other thing is the website. So the name of my company is Strategic Amelioration. I know it's a bit of a long name, but strategic. And then amelioration is AMELIORATION. And my email is Mary T for Tom, but my last name is Tadros, but it's Mary T at strategicamelioration.com. So just reach out, phone, website, email. I am more than happy to get some introductions,
This is awesome. And since you guys stayed to the end, you found some value. Maybe you are in need. And if you're here in South Florida and you say, hey, I like everything I heard, but I want to have someone I can touch or I can see, Mary's only a bright line away. So, it's a quick, I think it's a 2-hour bright line, and you can see that person. It's not like you need to live with the person for them to check your finances. But Mary, I thank you for giving the game. The links will be in the description wherever you are experiencing this podcast. You can see the links below. You can rewind. You can find what you need to find. Make sure, though, to go check out the YouTube, too. I know majority of you are listeners on the go, busy. Maybe, you're driving somewhere, traveling. But go check out the YouTube. Give it, a like. Give it a comment. But more importantly than anything, whatever you're doing, make sure you share this game with somebody. It will change their life. Be blessed, y'all.
Hi, everyone. Have you ever been curious about visiting Africa? Which African country were you interested in? Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa, Ethiopia? Which country are you interested in? My good friend, Kellen Cash Coleman, came up with a course called My First Trip to Africa that'll guide you through this process. It's only $20, and in this course you'll learn about passports, visas, vaccinations that you need before you go there, as well as a budget, how much the trip is going to cost. He also talks about what you should pack, what you should take with you, how you should travel on a budget. Did you know that $100 is worth 1,000 South African rand and over 10,000 Kenyan shillings? So imagine what you can do with $100 back home. I say back home because I'm from Sudan, I'm African, I already know how it's like. I know that, when you convert Canadian and American money, it goes a long way when you're traveling across Africa. So if you're curious, if Africa is a place that you've always wanted to go, always wanted to move there, Kellen Cash is the person to ask. Check out the course. There's a little preview you can listen to before you actually purchase it. If you're interested in this course, visit www.diversifiedgame.com. Don't miss out.